Hello everybody, welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. I'm going to put myself a little bit lower if I can without popping off, and I wouldn't be surprised if it popped off, but I keep looking off to the right because that's where I am on my screen, but of course the camera is on the other side, so just give me grace if I'm not looking at you for some of the time. But I did want to say happy Easter. I hope you had a wonderful time with family and friends, and I hope you had time to make it to church for the real reason of Easter. What a blessed day. We had a wonderful day with friends. My family is in Virginia. Actually, my brother is still in New York with his family. But my mom and dad went to my sister's house in Virginia, in Appomattox, Virginia. If anybody knows where that is, it's right where they signed the treaty. So it was very close to, it's the Civil War stuff. So I have Revolutionary War history everywhere around me with Lexington and Concord and Boston, of course, and she has Appomattox down there. Anyway, so last week I showed you Playing in the Rain, and that's actually this week's card class for inside my studio. But this week I am going to be doing Petal Park. Now, Petal Park is a fabulous stamp set. I absolutely love it. It has a matching punch, and I'm pretty sure it went, to be very honest, okay, I'm going to be very, very honest. I have seen almost as much of the catalog as some of you. In fact, some customers who are not demonstrators may have seen more of the catalog and may know more about what is carrying over than I do. Seriously, I just haven't had a minute. Trying to get ahead. We have our retreat at the end of the month by the bay. It's called Down by the Bay. It isn't at a bay, it's actually in a church basement, which has so much fabulous space, and it's a themed retreat, and I have been getting ready with my helpers, planning classes and goodie bags and pillow gifts and you name it. I've had such a fabulous time. I'm actually way ahead of schedule, which is unbelievable. Planning one of my optional classes, and it is, I'm using the craft note cards, and what else can I tell you? Anyway, I'm trying to get ahead has been fun. And I've had a great time. Let's just get to it. I'm not going to keep on babbling, but I have some tricks to tell you or show you, and then we're going to I'm going to see, I don't know if this is going to work. My friend Cindy would be very proud of me if it did. I'm going to flip the camera up towards the ceiling and see if then maybe I can see what's going on down below and see your comments at the same time, because I love it when you guys comment. If I can answer, I will, if I see them. And if I can't, I promise I will answer later. So thank you so much for joining me, whether you are live or on the replay. I love you all. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. I'm going to flip up. Yeah, so far so good. And then we're going to flip down. There we go. And I'm going to try and remember to stay in the screen, which is really, really, really difficult for me. Probably one of the most difficult things I have to do. There's my April host code. I've got my memento. I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat. I've got my chamois already. I put my chamois right here. You can see I've used it a bunch of times for this stamp. I put it in a plastic case, and I just used some designer paper to decorate it. But anyway, so we're going to talk about Petal Park. For the most part, for Petal Park, I use this Regency Park paper. I think that's what it's called. Yes, Regency Park 6x6 paper. Fabulous, fabulous paper. I'm not going to take it out, but I'm just going to flip. There's some patterned, regular geometric patterns on the back for the most part, and then on the front are the small flowers that match both Sentimental Park and Petal Park. So that's all one suite in the mini catalog. And I'm pretty sure that Sentimental Park is carrying over, so I'm hoping Petal Park is too, because the punch is fabulous. And that really matches really nicely. I'm going to show you one card I got in a swap, and this is the first card we will make on Thursday. I'm not going to make it with you today. Hi, Karen. Karen, I am going to see you in just about 4 days. I'm so excited. Cannot wait. So here's the first card. It is, you know, I was thinking it was mint macaron and it was going, but you know, the pool party ribbon should have been a giveaway to me that this is actually pool party. Look at how pretty this paper is, or this card. So I love the blue and pink together. And I'll hold it right side up so you can see it. The happy birthday. I totally had it upside down, and I was thinking I was looking at it right side too. So that's the first card we're doing. I'm not going to make that one because that takes a couple of layers of the punch, but we'll be making that on next Thursday, not this Thursday. And then, well, let me show you what we're going to do to start. I made a card today, and I think I'm going to switch it up already. So this is the card I made. I love these colors. This is Night of Navy, of course, and Balmy Blue. To me, this looks very, I don't know, it looks very Dutch. You know, it reminds me of the Delft Blue patterns. Not as much, you know, but it reminds me of that. I'm not saying it is Delft Blue by any means, because that's not the pattern, but it reminds me of that. So, and to me, the whole pattern pack of paper reminds me of a Scandinavian type of, I just love it. Besides, it reminds me of when I was younger, sewing for my kids. I'd go shopping at Joann Fabrics and go through the calicos, and I had so much fun picking out the calicos, and that to me is what is in here. So anyway, I decided though that this was a little bit on the dark side and maybe too much light blue in the middle. So I'm going to take your vote, and you can tell me which card we are going to make next Thursday. I'm going to switch it up. So I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat with my scrap paper, because these are, of course, photopolymer stamps, which means that you really need to have something underneath you, because you don't have the cling cushion like normal with the regular stamps. So anyway, let me see, what was I going to do? So let me get all the pieces out. So this is our Petal Park punch, and don't throw me under the bus for this, but I have this banner punch, I don't know what to call, I don't know if that's what it's called, but anyway, I fork all of my banners with that. That will never go anywhere. That's my favorite, all-time favorite punch, if I had to pick one. It really has come in so handy. So anyway, okay, so I decided instead of Night of Navy, we're going to do Balmy Blue. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, so you're going to judge. I've already done, let me put this here so that you can see. I've done a lot of the pieces, so instead I thought maybe I would use this Night of Navy patterned piece instead. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm thinking it might. And then, of course, I still am using the same patterned piece here. And I'm going to pop that up. So far, so good. I kind of like it so far. We do have to stamp our label here. And let me see if I have my scrap. So I think I like this so far. So let's first stamp the label, and then I will stamp the flowers, and then I'll go to explain eventually what I'm talking about when I say I have some tips for you. So I think, again, I am going to do the Night of Navy, just like I did, and then I stamped them with Balmy Blue in the center. So here's all my, I'm getting already very crowded here. Let me switch this out. There's probably something I need in there, though. I just came up with the last card about 20 minutes ago. And I don't know how it's going to turn out. I just know how I want it to turn out. Ever have cards like that in your mind? You picture this perfect card. And then when you actually go to make it, you're like, huh, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind. So let's see. Where is my, I've got this. Do I have my Let's Celebrate stamp? I don't think I do. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so this one goes in there. Here we go. Sorry, I'm all put together now. I promise. Okay, so we're going to start. Hi, Judy. I wonder, are you watching on the road or are you back home already? Judy went to visit her son out in Iowa City. She's getting ready to move Jim down to Texas this weekend. So busy week for her. And she's staying back for a couple more weeks from what I understand. So I did the Let's Celebrate right there. That's just Night of Navy. And that's stamped really, really nicely. Don't you love that font? Isn't that so cute? I'm going to keep the Night of Navy open, actually. And I think I've told you before, when I do my basic white card inserts, they're always 4 by 5 1/4. And I always end up with a 1/2 strip. Well, a lot of times my card fronts will have a mat that's 4 by 5 1/4. I save these strips because they're the perfect size for stamping your sentiments. So I'm going to stamp happy birthday right there. Nice and easy because I'm using my pad. It works really, really well. Let me close this now for, you know what? I'm going to move it off to the side and hopefully not stick my hand in it. Let's do it that way. What I'm going to do is cut this. And to me, this 1/2 inch is a little bit too big. So I actually am cutting close to the words. I'm just freehand cutting it. And yes, you probably caught me. I should be using my paper snips, but these Fiskars are my favorite scissors for fussy cutting because they have these big handles, so my hand doesn't get tired when I'm cutting. Okay, I'm just going to glue that right on. And I haven't tried this glue today, so hopefully it's going to work. Oh yeah, almost a little bit too much. Put that right there. Kind of straight, kind of not, but it's okay. I was thinking today, when I was stamping these flowers, I kind of stamped outside of the lines. Hi, Monica. Thank you for watching. Monica's my friend in Virginia that I'll see in a few weeks on our trip to Norway. I'm so excited. My goodness, I'm going to see all of you guys soon. I was stamped these flowers, and I stamped outside of the line. But you know what I was thinking? I was thinking if somebody is judging your card and saying you stamped outside of the line, they don't deserve your card. So I'm not a big fan of this pattern, which is why I love this navy pattern on the back. I love it when I have designer paper where it's easy for me to decide which side I'm going to use. Let's see. This piece of paper, this banner, I copied it from another card that I got in a swap, but it was red, and although I am making a red card today, it wasn't a favorite of mine. So anyway, this banner is 2 inches by 4 3/4. And then I forked it with the banner punch, which I talked about. Don't tell anybody that I'm still using my banner punch, but it's not going anywhere. Let me get my dimensionals out here. Here's my big dimensionals. I've got minis in here too. I got a little toolbox on my desk over here. And in that little toolbox, I have everything. And then I have an envelope that is kind of banded to the front so it doesn't go anywhere. And that holds my dimensionals when I don't remove them from the table and take them someplace. Now, these cards, it's a little bit hard to come up with some of these ideas. Monica and I did a stamp camp, and we had to do it. We did Sentimental Park. And we used a lot of these papers. So I'm still coming up with other ideas, which is kind of cool that there are still ideas out there. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to, I think I'm going to glue it on this side, but I'm going to put a dimensional on the other side because this is already popped up right here. So let's just let me just take my dimensionals back out. And we're going to go like this. We'll put it right there. This label is from Sentimental Park. It's very ornate, but it's not difficult to cut out at all. So there we go. That's not bad. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our flowers. We have to have a Zoom call soon to tell what everybody is bringing for the trip because I don't know what to pack. Here we go. I'm going to stamp with Night of Navy again. And where is my stamp? I have both a solid stamp. This is going to be my Balmy Blue. And this is my outline stamp. It has a lot more detail. You can see the lines. And we're going to stamp. Now, the first thing I do when I'm stamping, especially I'm looking for my scrap paper here. First thing I'm going to do is turn over my punch and see how am I best going to do this. So obviously that's not the best use of my paper. So I'm going to turn this. I can see that it's kind of like that. So let's do that. I also want to be able to use this for other scrap paper. So I'm going to do it so it doesn't take up a lot of room. Now, where's my Balmy Blue? Here's my Balmy Blue. And what I'm going to do, I always I'm going to stamp this like this. It's going to go like this. Okay, same. We're going to overlap it. I'm going to put it over top. I'm going to kind of hover over top until I find where I don't see any white space, which is hard. But here we go. I usually put one side down. Oh, one side down first, and then I kind of move it. So I don't know if you saw that, but I kind of moved it so that it was lined up. I don't think I did a very good job because I can see that I'm overlapping on this side. But anyway, what I'm going to do now, because this is a solid stamp, I lift it up. Whoop, I missed it. But I usually lift it up and then I take my finger and I rub underneath. And that kind of fills in those gaps because solid stamps sometimes are very difficult to get a complete filled image. This one didn't do badly. And yeah, I guess I didn't do too poorly with the that. Okay, I'm going to sit down for a second because I can see better sitting down. I don't punch stamping up. I don't punch standing up, but I do stamp always standing up. But for some reason, I think because I'm looking into the camera, it's a lot more tiring. I'm going to a retreat this weekend. My friend Celine has her retreat up in Kennebunkport, so I'll see Karen up there. It's always a great time. I love seeing what everybody else is doing. And then on top of that, besides that, the food is great and just hanging out is so much fun. And when I'm even stamping with somebody in the same room, I'm so much more imaginative. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I think I'll put this one down here. I think I'll use my mini dimensionals for the rest. Let me do the mini dimensional. It doesn't really need it, but we're going to do that. Let's do that. And then one more, my last flower, I'm going to put up here. I think I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to put it up here this time. I kind of like it right there. And then, you know what I'm going to do is use my Take Your Pick tool right here. Oh, I don't know, Judy. I don't think it's perfect at all, but good thing we're far enough away from the camera. I use the blue dots. These are the adhesive milky dots. I still have 3 packages left, so I'm so excited to be able to use them in class next week. I think instead of using the blue this time, I'm going to use the white. So there's like a white, there's definitely a yellow. You've got your blue, which is like a cobalt blue. And then this is kind of a pink, maybe fresh freesia color. This is not exactly white. I realized I'm not in the camera, but it's the closest to white that we have. So unless I did my iridescent rhinestones, which I love, which I'm so excited that the iridescent pearls are carrying over. Oh, you know what? I want to use that little one as a center for a small flower. Oh, that is a big flower. Oh my goodness. Let's do this. Oh my goodness. My kids make fun of me because I say, oh my goodness, all the time. There we go. And one last one right here. I could add more, but it doesn't really need it, I think. I really like that one. Okay, so you guys have to tell me, which one do you think I should do for class next week? Should I prep this one or should I prep this one? Tell me if you want the light blue or the dark blue. I think I know which one I want, but I wonder if you guys know which one you want. So anyway, I'll wait to hear. I'll even go back and review the what everybody says. But let's move on to the next card because I've got 2 more cards for you. Okay. I'm not going to tell you which one I like because I think I already gave it away by my reaction. But let me set this off. Oh, you like the Night of Navy, huh? That's so funny. It's so funny because I was naturally drawn to the balmy blue. But I didn't stamp as well there. Maybe that's why. But see, Karen likes the light blue one. We have to go back and forth. Maybe I'll have to do one of each or give them the choice. Maybe that's what I'll do. I will give them the choice. I agree, Karen. I like the light blue one too. But I have to say, I don't dislike the Night of Navy. Okay, let me take these Milky Dots out because we're going to use it for another card. And we're going to go on to card number 2. Now this one I prepped, but I really didn't. So this is like what I was saying. I kind of know which one I want, which one I want to, how it's going to look, but I don't really. So let me show you what I have here. Lots of pieces. Lots of pieces. So what I have here is another piece of paper. I better stand up so I know I'm in the picture. I like the petal pink with the yellow. I really do. To me, I love mint macaron. And it sounds to me, even though I'm so disappointed that soft succulent and mint macaron are going to go, it sounds to me like Lost Lagoon is going to be a close, even though it seems more blue to me, it's going to be a close replacement. So I've already cut this paper. The paper is 3 by 4. 3 inches by 4 inches, really nice and easy. And the reason I did that is because I want to get two pieces out of every sheet, because they're 6 by 6. It's really hard, you know, if you do a big, you know, if I had a 12 by 12 piece, I could do 4 by 5 1/4 and cover the card, and then I'd still get 6 out of a piece of paper. This one, each thing, if I do over 3 inches, uses a whole sheet of paper of 6 by 6. So anyway, I have this on the mint macaron, and I have here, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. So I'll tell you what I was thinking. Let me stand back up again. This is one of our basic embossing folders. This is one of the online exclusives. I don't know if it's back in stock yet, but when it is, scoop it up, because there's 3 of them for $30. There's this one. There's a really nice textured one. And there's a dot one. I love this. To me, this looks like the flower centers. And that's what I was trying to do. I don't know if it's a perfect fit or not, but this is what I was thinking. So I had 2 thoughts. I could take my mint macaron on my petal pink, and my mint macaron card here is 4 by 5 1/4. And this, I'm pretty sure I made it 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Oh, the white is 3 3/4 by 5, so the mint macaron is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So 3 3/4 by 5 with the white. So I was thinking I could either do that and then put this layer on top. You'll see what I'm going to do still in a second. Or I was thinking I could do this. And I kind of like that better, but I'm not sure why. Anyway, so this is what I'm thinking. This, yeah, you know, it's kind of a neat look. So maybe, you know, and because I've got this pool party one, which has a lot of pink, maybe I will kind of stick to the green here. Anyway, let me at least attach this. So the back is striped, and I do like the stripes on the back. I'd probably put them up and down, but I didn't really pay attention to what it looked like when I was cutting. So this is going to be another horizontal card, just because that's the way it lays the best. Okay, so now, oh, you know what? It doesn't have to be horizontal now that I think about it. We could go like this. This is a, I'm glad you like them. I think I'm going to stick with the mint macaron and skip the petal pink of that. This label is from He's All That, and He's All That is the masculine set from last year, and it's carrying over. Yeah, the masculine set from last year. We had the matching paper and everything. But now we don't have the paper, but we still have this lovely, lovely label. So I decided what I'm going to stamp is thanks. And I think what I'm going to do, this is what I was thinking about doing. I'm going to stamp, and you're not going to see much of it, but because it's kind of a small label, but I'm going to stamp the, these are my leaves, the mint macaron, just kind of off. Oh boy. Yeah, it's going to be off to the side. So, and I probably should have stamped that off just so it would show the thanks a little bit better. But this is what I was thinking. I was thinking what I would do is use my Petal Pink, since that's what the flower is here. I could stamp that. Let's see, where's my scrap paper? Do I have scrap paper? Right here. I don't know if the Petal Pink is going to really show up or not, but I was thinking I'd do my flowers. I'd better clean my stamp real quick before I stamp navy or light blue on my Petal Pink pad. So we're going to go like this. And I am just going to stamp this. Once again, I'm going to look at my punch, which means I want to stamp this way. So I'm using the smartest use of the paper. And then, you know what? Before I go on, if you look at this one, it has a lot of yellow in the center. So let's just add a little bit of yellow. Oh, that's too much yellow. Okay, you know what? That is not exactly what I had in mind, but that's okay because I'm pretty sure in one of my buckets, I brought my color lifter. I did. I always bring my color lifter because you never know. I should have used probably So Saffron instead. It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it wasn't what I had in mind. So now what I'm going to do, since I have colored those insides, you know, actually that's not terrible. Let me see if I'm back in the camera here. I'm going to go like this. Let's punch it. I just keep moving my paper. I kind of am lightly holding the punch against the paper, but I keep using the teeth of this to hold it until I have it where I want. That is not perfect at all. Oh well. Is that better? Yeah. Anyway, you know what? This is just like Monet's garden. I was talking to somebody about Monet's garden today when I was walking the dogs. Just, it's kind of nice to have a watercolored out, you know, not worrying about the lines paper. I'm going to do one more thing here because I absolutely love this soft succulent shimmer ribbon. And I, for some reason, have not paid a whole lot of attention to it this year. It has not gotten a lot of love. That is for certain. Let's see. I think I'm going to do it on the white paper. I wish I'd paid more attention, and now it's going. I'm so sad. This paper is just the best. Here, I'm going to move it down. And all I do is I'm going to just bring this through. And meanwhile, take my 2 fingers here, and I'm going to kind of pull that tight so that when I pull that, it's still nice and taut. It's not too loose. So I use my fingers to kind of spread that apart. And I don't know if I really wanted to do it around the white or if I wanted to do it around my designer paper. But now that I've done this, I want to do it around the designer paper. Okay, so let's do that again. You can see me in action again. Sometimes this works, next time it may not. And then you know what I do? I use washi tape on the back to hold it in place. But I kind of use my big fat fingers here to kind of tug things while I'm spreading out. And it's still kind of, it's not straight, but there we go. It's not bad. Okay, so we're going to do it that way. Okay, so I can attach this white. Basic white can go on my card base, and this is soft succulent. This one actually happens to be 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2, but most of the time mine are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored by 4 1/4, which ends up with the same 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card front, if that makes sense. I'm going to put that there. Yep, we can do that. I don't think I'm going to pop this up, although I could, but that's a lot of popping up because I do think that I want to pop up my label. So let's just put that there. Ta-da. I'm going to use my dimensionals to hold that in place. Okay, before I move it any further, let's take the Night of Navy ink pad, which is, and I'm going to do that because this is Night of Navy. I could do Memento, but I'm going to do Night of Navy, and we're going to stamp thanks on here. Right there. Hoping that's going to be dark enough. There we go. It's not a, that's such a beautiful sentiment font. I really like that. Okay, now I'm going to put my Night of Navy away because I don't think I need that anymore this time. What I'm going to do is take my dimensionals. Am I still on the camera? Stand back up. If I go out of camera, well, then I can't see your... Oh, thank you, Patricia. Thank you so much. Where are you watching from? I hope your weather is as nice as ours. Today, it did hit 60. We're supposed to hit 80 by the end of the week, and I'm so excited because it's been a long winter, even though it hasn't been. I'm going to put that right there. And then let's just, I don't know if we need all these flowers or not. I'll definitely use the big one right there. That can overlap a little bit. You know what? I think I am going to use all the, and let's use the little dimensionals again. I am going to use all the flowers because 3s are visually more appealing. So let's do it like that. And one more little dimensional for this little tiny flower that we will put off like that. Oh, I love it. Like I said, I didn't know how this was going to work out, so it's not that I'm not being humble. I didn't know how it was going to look, and I like how it looks, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, I do have a mess going on. Let me get my Take Your Pick tool, because I do think it could use a little flower center. And on this, I feel like that is probably the navy blue, so let's use the tiny navy blue, or the blue adhesive Milky Dots for the centers. This may have ruined the card. I hope not. You'll have to tell me what you think. Everybody has a different tip for the tool that they like to use to pick up their dots. I always use the silicone tip. Love that. Oh my goodness, it turned out so pretty. I always use that. I have other people that use the spatula, and I have other people that use the point. I keep my point inside for sure. Definitely not a good thing to have outside around me because I'm dangerous. Okay, so that's card number 2. Okay, so, and then the third one, okay, I'm so excited about card number 3 too. And once again, I just kind of worked on this about 20 minutes ago, and I'm not sure. I've been working on the cards all day, but this one, I think I kind of, okay, let me just show you what I'm thinking. I have this sweet sorbet. I wanted to do something with black. I was going to do yellow and black because I love like brown-eyed Susans and everything. But then I thought of ladybugs. Love ladybugs. Except when, you know, there is a ladybug that kind of is in the house all the time. It's not a good ladybug. I don't think it even is a real ladybug. But let me show you what I was thinking. So this is what I was thinking. I am thinking I had this scallop card piece already cut, so I didn't cut it special. This is another one of the patterns from that basic embossing folder. So the red and black looks so classy, I think. And then, because I already had this, I had a piece of scrap paper, and I kind of cut it to size. This is the sweet sorbet again. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is just shy of 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. So this one is like 3 3/8 inches by 4 5/8. It's like 1/8 of an inch larger, or yeah, just 1/8 of an inch larger than this. So this is what I had in mind, and I think this is going to work. What I'm going to do, okay, so let me get back, let me backtrack. This is the one where I wanted to show you a little trick. So all these flowers, of course, they line up perfectly if you line them up perfectly. So this is what we're going to do. I have here my stamp, my photopolymer stamp. And this is really flimsy, so you could almost put it in any position you wanted, you know, with, I mean, not quite, but kind of. So let me set this off to the side, because what I'm going to do is take my leaves. I better clean my stamp real quick, because this still has maybe navy on it. I can't know, or mint macaron maybe. Okay. We've got my stamp here. And what I do is I'm going to ink this up with Memento. And I was thinking about coloring in the leaves, but we'll see. No, I think I'm going to color in the flowers and stamp the leaves. But this is what I wanted to show you. So I'm inking this up, making sure I'm in the screen. And I've got this already laid out. So this is pretty much determined how it's going to be, right? So I'm going to stamp this. I actually am going to stamp so that I have a little bit of room at the top here for my sentiment. So anyway, so I'm not rocking it, but I'm giving it some pressure, even pressure, and then I'll lift up. And that's not terrible. Okay, so this is what I want, the tip that I wanted to give you. I now have my stamp here, which has to line up. And remember I said it could go, you know, you could almost put it any way you want, but you want it to match up. So what I'm going to do is lay this stamp on top, and I am going to get it totally matched up. Just like that. That is pretty much totally matched up. And then I'm going to take my block and pick up the stamp. So this is the solid leaves. These are the inside. So because this is black, I can't see black leaves. So I decided to do evening evergreen. So let's see if this is going to match up like I hope it was, because that's the whole point of teaching you a tip, that it works consistently when you want it to, right? Okay, so here we go again. Oh, I almost can't see the leaves because this is really dark. But that's okay. I think I've got this lined up. Yep. If it's out, it's because I can't see at the angle I'm at. We'll just blame it on the angle. Okay. Yeah, we'll blame it on the angle. So this is the evening evergreen. I should have gone up a little bit more on all of them, and it would have been perfect. So I'm sorry. Here I wanted to teach you a great trick that works every time, and you just have to have it underneath you so you can see. That's the other thing I'm going to tell you. Don't stamp for a camera. Stamp underneath yourself. That's okay though. We're okay. Now what I'm going to do, take my scrap paper once more, and I am going to stamp my flowers. Where are my flowers? Right here. And this I'm going to do in the Memento again, because this one I am going to, with the Memento, if it's a big stamp, I take the Memento pad to it. If it's a little stamp, because this is a felt stamp, I kind of twist this on the pad just to make sure I fill in all those little nooks and crannies. So there we go. And now once again, where's my punch? Here's my punch. I'm going to look at my punch, and I'm going to stamp it so that it punches out smart. Like I said, I wouldn't have the little flower at the bottom. It would be a waste of paper. So there we go. Okay. Ta-da. Boy, I got a lot going on here, don't I? What a mess. Okay, let me cover up my Memento so I don't get that. And then what I'm going to do, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a yellow center or a red center, so you guys might have to help. Oh, let's bring this back on camera. Can't believe I didn't, after all that, I didn't line it up.
You know what? I might try it again because I really did such a poor job. I'm embarrassed to show it. So Memento's coming back out. We're going to try this once more on the back. If I really wanted to, sometimes I will run this back through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so that the stitching is on the right side. But you have to be really careful with that. Okay, I'm taking a chance. Twice is a charm. They always say 3 times is a charm, but I don't have another label, so it had better be twice as a charm. Let's ink up our Evening Evergreen again. And what I could do, in fact, I wonder if I want to do that. I do have a scrap paper here. This is just a scrap paper where I was going to try something. I'm going to stamp this off. So I'm going to stamp there once. And then I think this is going to be a little bit lighter. And maybe, first of all, I'll be able to see better. Yeah, I can definitely see much better. Still can't see. I'm sorry, guys. I have to pull this towards me, so I'm probably out of your view, but the phone is right where... There we go. So I don't know if you saw me twist that a little bit, just to try and... Much better. Not perfect, but much better. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our flowers here. What I'm going to do, the Evening Evergreen is supposed to be close to black without being black, because I'm not a big fan of black leaves. There's usually a reason for something with black leaves, like a disease. Okay, let's celebrate. Oh, Memento has to come back. I forgot my sentiment. Let's celebrate. That was a little crooked. I am going to say, let's celebrate. And the reason I'm doing this is because you could choose these flowers to match a graduation maybe. So, and where am I going to put that? I don't think that, I've got to take this down for a second. I don't think that's going to fit. Oh boy. Did not figure that out well. You know what? I would do the graduation inside. So, sorry, I can't stamp that little thing. This is from Sentimental Park. All of the sentiments are from Sentimental Park. Petal Park, which is the one that I'm using with the punch, does not have any sentiments in it. Okay, so let's see. What were we going to do? Oh, we're going to color our flowers real quick. So I've got my Sweet Sorbet. And I'll do the insides with the dark, just for a little bit of shading. And then I'm going to color in with my light. So I'm sitting down to do this. Sorry, guys, I can't do this standing up at all. Okay, I've got my light Sweet Sorbet. So excited that this is around for another year. Wow, doesn't even look light. Maybe they're the same color. Did I? Nope, it says light. They look almost the same color though, don't they? Oh well. You know what I'll do? I'll take my color lifter for the outside of the petals a little bit. And see how I'm not even worried about going outside of the lines, because who cares? If you're making a special card for somebody, they're not going to care if you color outside of the lines. They want to see that you're trying, but they're not going to care if you're outside of the lines. Okay, where did I put my color lifter? Right here. Let's do a little bit of color lifting on the outside. We'll see that in a second. Okay, and then I was thinking, once again, I think I'm going to do the yellow. I could do a black center. You know what? I'm going to do the black center, and then I'll just use the yellow dots for that. How about that? Because I want it, it's reminding me of a ladybug. Isn't that so cool? To me, it looks like a ladybug. Colors at least of a ladybug. Okay, so let's punch out our flowers. Line it up as best as you can. This is probably similar to the leaves, although I did my best to line everything up and for punching and whatever. It is a photopolymer stamp, so you can maneuver it a little bit. So, okay. Let me stand up so I can see if I'm in the picture again. We are going to use our dimensionals. We'll do the big one. With this, it's kind of like the big one fits, I don't know, right there, right? Doesn't it look it? And then I can almost use a big dot for this one too, can't I? I guess I can. That one could go right there. Yeah, you can play with it and put it wherever you want. And this little one I'm going to put in the empty space up top. And then when I was putting away my stamps today, wow, I love that. Again, let's see. I'm going to take my dots, and oh boy, we only have big dots of the yellow. I must have used the other ones. I don't know if the big dot is going to look good on my, it's almost like I'm just going to color around this a little bit so it shows up a little bit, the black. And the same for this. This one is going to be really, I know, doesn't look nice, but when you put a big dot over top, it's kind of nice to see the yellow on the outside. Don't you think? And that's why I did that. Okay, so now we've got our cardstock here. And I just had a length of this hanging out on the counter, so it might be way too big. It's probably meant for a full card front to go around, but I love black and white gingham ribbon, and I'm pretty sure black and white gingham ribbon is staying around for another year. Okay, so we got that. Everybody says they don't know how I tie my bows. Well, my mom doesn't know how I tie my shoes. And I tie my bows the way I tie my shoes. Seriously, I don't know if I learned backwards, but I did. But anyway, okay, so we're going to, you know what? I kind of have to pop this one up just because the ribbon is in the way. So let me just, you're going to end up paying for the non-machinable. I went to the post office last week and I had a 2-ounce stamp on my envelope, and they said, well, 2 ounces isn't enough. You need to do the non-machinable, which is over $1, for Pete's sake. Like, oh my goodness, over $1. Okay, so yep, that should be good enough. We're gonna put this right here, kind of centered. And then we're going to put it on our card front, which I didn't glue on yet. Let me glue on. These are like cross hatches, this pattern. You can tell it's embossed because you can hear me using my glue on when it's embossed. Okay, so this is 4 by 5 1/4, this mat. And then I'm going to just stick this on here. And because I've popped up the flowers and I've popped up my label, we are not going to pop up anything more. I tried to put a postcard over it. Sometimes that works. This time it did not. And I did not get away with it. But you know what? I tried to take the card back and the lady's like, no, you can't take it. I said, I don't have the money. I don't have any money because I walked to the post office. And she's like, just pay it forward. I'll pay for you. So just to let you know, don't go to the counter if you've got a whole bunch of dimensionals. Just try and get it through the mail. Isn't that pretty? Oh. Okay, I don't know which is my favorite card, but we've got 3 of them here. So we've got this one, I'll clean up my mess, and our last card is these. There we go. So like I said, this was 4 3/4 by 2 inches, And I was trying to figure out which we liked better, the dark blue or the light blue on the navy or the balmy blue. And I'm still leaving it up for debate. So everybody comment and tell me which one of these cards you like better for next week for when I have my card class in person here in my studio here in Lynnfield, Massachusetts. The balmy blue or the night of navy. And that's what these people are going to make. So you'll have to tell me. This one we made. Love it. And this one. And I thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try flipping back. You love the red and black too, Karen. I kind of had a feeling you would. You seem like a red and black type of person. You're very dramatic. You don't seem like the pastel type, but I am not the pastel. I am a pastel type, and I love the red and black the best. So there you go. Anyway, I'm not going to flip back. I'm just going to say goodbye. And thank you so, so much for watching me. And I will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Live at 5 with Jeannie. Have a great week. Bye.